welcome to this edition of Culture Mosaic. We are living in a very special time in history when the rising cases of Delta variant might challenge the global efforts in fighting the pandemic. Therefore, hopefully the little stories about the beauty of Vietnamese culture and art featured in this episode of Culture Mosaic can help reduce the stress and bring more hope and positive energy to you all during social distancing time. In this week's edition, we'll introduce you the special belief in the value of water of the Dao people in the mountainous Hà Giang province in our lifestyle segment. And moving on to On the Mic, we'll talk to a special painter who at the age of 14 has owned more than 300 paintings showcased in exhibitions in New York and Singapore. And last but not least, we'll take you to the colorful world of French-Vietnamese graffiti legend who will wow you with his talents and artwork. So stay with us for more. The Dao people's story of water in Hà Giang province. 14-year-old Saigon-based Vietnamese artist impresses international art lovers with more than 300 paintings. And French-Vietnamese graffiti legend and local artists treat audiences with a sounds and colors feast. Now let's begin with some local news. Earlier this July, Vietnamese indie artist Hoàng Thái Vũ duetted with Grammy nominee Lucas Graham on the Danish singer's new song, Happy For You. The song's MV jumped to the #1 spot on YouTube's trending videos in Vietnam in just a week. As of Wednesday, July the 28th, the video has reached over 8.7 million views on YouTube. Since Lucas Graham is currently in Denmark, the duo had to record their performance via a video session. They sang the song in both Vietnamese and English, with Vũ penning the Vietnamese lyrics. The song has an acoustic pop sound with piano accompaniment. The lyrics are about a man's confession at the end of a relationship when he realizes the woman he loves has moved on despite his lingering feelings.
Đã không còn gì, hồi ức xưa nay vẫn còn đây em nơi nào.
Người lắng nghe, lời thì thầm, or listeners, the whispering, recently snagged the Best Feature Micro Budget under $250,000 award at the 2021 International New York Film Festival held mid-July. The film, directed by Hoàng Ngưỡng, revolves around An Nhiên, played by Oanh Kiều, who's a young writer. After completing the novel Listener, she is repeatedly attacked by a ghost. The character overcomes her obsession by drawing strange shapes, which gradually reveals An Nhien's hidden past. The movie was scheduled to release in Vietnam in March, but was postponed due to the pandemic. Vietnamese photographers have boosted their global profile thanks to a number of works that were recently honored at an annual photo contest hosted by the International Federation of Fine Arts Photographers, or FIAP. Photographer Dũng Nguyễn received an honorable mention for his photo depicting sketch mat making in the individual awards category. 2 other certificates were presented to 2 photo collections, traditional crafts in the color print photo category and Vietnam scene from above in the digital color photo category. The annual photo contest is one of the most highly anticipated events organized by the FIAP and is hosted alternately by its member countries. This year's contest was organized in France. Well-known Vietnamese musicians and singers across the country are working on a new virtual concert series to support people severely affected by COVID-19. The program, titled Sing for Life, Sing for Love, was initiated by the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union Central Committee. During the first concert on July the 18th, Veteran singer Hồng Nhung and young singers Bảo Trâm and Hoàng Dũng offered home audiences a night of beautiful songs. The organizers had received more than $13,000 and 20,095 max after the first show. Sing for Life, Sing for Love concerts will be broadcast live on the program's YouTube channel and Facebook page at 8 p.m. every second and fourth Thursday of the month. Saxophonist Trần Mạnh Tuấn recently performed for over 10,000 COVID-19 patients at the field hospitals number 3 and number 6 in Ho Chi Minh City. The artist performed a number of familiar compositions, most notably his famed work, Quê Hương or Homeland. The beautiful and nostalgic melodies brought great comfort to frontline workers as well as to people in quarantine who all hope to triumph over the pandemic. The show was part of a volunteer campaign involving various artists and was managed by the prominent news anchor Quỳnh Hoa. A number of other artists had previously performed for COVID-19 patients in various hospitals in Ho Chi Minh City. Speaking about wealth, people often think of gold, silver, or houses. However, the Dao people in a mountainous area in Hà Giang province believe that the most valuable asset in their home is water. Yet, it does not necessarily mean that any households with a lot of water are rich ones. People here have a very unique method of measuring wealth, and we'll find out more in this week's Culture and Lifestyle.
This is a Phien village, Phương Tiến Commune, Vị Xuyên District, Hà Giang Province. But just looking at the image, many people would think that this is a plain, not a village in Hà Giang Province, a mountainous locality in Vietnam. This is due to the fact that this land is home to a large number of fish ponds. People here have dug fish ponds to raise their income. However, they rarely sell or kill the fish. That's why there are decades-old fish in these ponds. This is because of the quality of the water here.
Nguồn nước mà được bà con sử dụng thì được bắt nguồn từ đỉnh Tây Côn Lĩnh.
Tây Côn Lĩnh is the highest mountain range in the northeast region of northern Vietnam, with an altitude of 2,427 meters. Since it's located at the foot of this mountain range, the terrain here is quite steep and rocky. As such, the locals cannot dig wells here. In order to have drinking water, they have to use plastic or bamboo pipes to get water from the mountain springs, which are a few kilometers away. Water here is very important. It is used for domestic use, to generate electricity, or for fish farming.
Đằng sau thôn bản thì lại không có thôn bản khác nữa, là coi như là chỉ có núi rừng. Đấy, nước nó chảy rúc rích là mình lấy về nhà vừa sử dụng trong gia đình vừa chăn nuôi. Đấy, trên này thì nước nó rất lạnh. Tuổi thọ của con cá đôi khi 30, 40 năm.
The type of fish raised by locals is bone fish, or Spinibarbus denticulatus, which is shaped similarly to carp. The bonefish skin is bluish in color, while its fins, tail, and corners of the mouth are light red. This fish can only live in cold water, like water from streams. This fish is also very sensitive to changes in the environment. If there's a slight change in the water, or if a poisonous leaf falls in, the fish will die immediately. Because the water source from nature is far from the village, most people here dig ponds near their houses and raise schools of bonefish. If there is any change in the water, or if the sap of leaves falls in, people can assess the situation by just looking at the health status of the fish.
Làng ở đây 100% gia đình nào cũng có nuôi cá. Gia đình nào mà có cá to thì gia đình đấy là quá giàu.
According to locals, the house with a number of big fish is the richest family in the village. However, people here rarely sell the fish for money. So what does having big fish have to do with the family being rich? This is Mrs. Đặng Thị Tong's household, which owns the largest number of fish in the village. In fact, after observing her pond, most people would come to the conclusion that despite having numerous perennial fish, her family is not very well off. On the contrary, her house seems older than many other houses in the village.
Người dân ở đây giàu không phải là giàu về củ cải mà chủ yếu là giàu về nước sạch. Tức là ở trên ao gia đình bà Tọng là nuôi được một con cá to từ 2 đến 30 năm. Trong 30 năm qua thì bà Tọng chủ yếu là được cái nước sạch là cho gia đình phục vụ hàng ngày hàng tháng, là năm này qua năm khác.
Every family in the village is capable of raising fish for this long. That's why whoever can raise these fish in their ponds for such a long time proves that their water source must be extremely clean. Thanks to that, the health of the family members is also maintained. This can be seen by the fact that Mrs. Tong is 90 years old, but is still very lucid. That's why the people here believe in the concept that water is everything, and that it is the most valuable asset.
Trong những năm gần đây ấy, thì ý thức bảo vệ rừng của người dân thì ngày càng được nâng cao. Như các bạn có thể thấy thì xung quanh thôn bản là bạt ngàn của màu xanh của rừng.
There is no need for pictures to prove how well the people here protect the environment. Just seeing the schools of fish that have lived for decades and looking at the terraced paddy fields in the middle of the high mountains are enough for us to understand how much local people value and protect their environment in Phương Tiến Commune, Vị Xuyên District, Hà Giang Province.
These are 8 paintings that were sold in 2 recent online auctions in Ho Chi Minh City. The total proceeds of this auction reached 2.95 billion Vietnam dong. This isn't even the most money the artist has received for his paintings. Previously, his painting titled Hạ Long Bay in Cave was valued at 150,000 US dollar or approximately 3.45 billion Vietnam dong. Even more interesting, the artist is only 14 years old.
At the age of 14, normally children just pay their attention to their interests, playing or learning. But Xiao Chu, a young artist in Ho Chi Minh City, has had many remarkable achievements of his own. In the first steps in his career, Xiao Chu has owned more than 300 paintings and solo exhibitions in New York, Singapore, and Vietnam. In this On the Mic segment, let's meet and talk with this talented young artist.
So hello, Xiao Chu, thank you so much for having time with us today. So first of all, can you explain more about your special nickname to the audience?
So that's just my name at home. So like people around me, like my relatives or my family would call me that. So when I just started painting, and then I would sign my signature as Chu. So I guess that's just, and then I just kept it.
Can you tell us more about like how did you find your passion for painting?
So I started painting when I was 4 or 5, and then when I just started, I found it really fun and interesting. And then I guess I just, and I still do that today, and I just use that as my motive.
So far, what have been your most favorite topics?
I would say flowers and landscape. That's the 2 main subjects that I use.
I see a lot of your pictures are about flowers and the nature. So could you tell us more about how did they become your source of inspiration?
When I'm doing a landscape painting, normally it's what I already saw in person, because during summer or Christmas break, me and my family would travel to somewhere new. When I see a scenery that really captures my interest and that I really like, I have this urge to try and recreate it on a painting.
I think this is my favorite because this is the first painting of the series because right after I got back, I painted this because I was kind of inspired by how great it was, how Hà Giang because I just visited, and I was like, oh, it's so amazing and it's gorgeous, so I wanted to paint it. So after I went home, I just did it immediately.
These were Xiaochu's works 2 years ago at the exhibition Big World, Small Eyes, which took place in New York City from December 19, 2019 to January 2, 2020. At that time, Xiaochu was only 12 years old and was likened to a child version of Jackson Pollock, a famous American painter in the 1940s, 1950s.
I think he's his own person in his own right, and I think he still has a lot of development to do. But it's very interesting that, and I was just telling him that the works that Pollock was producing was kind of at the pinnacle of his career, and he's producing similar work at the start of his career.
So for most children, I would say the hobby of painting, we can say sometimes it can be up to the passion, playing with colors or playing with the brushes for only several years. But for you, you have been with this passion for around 10 years. So why so?
I think a part of it is due to the fact that I have a very supportive family and my teacher as well. And I think they pushed me to continue this hobby that I really like.
So do you have anyone that inspires you, or just a person that you look up to within this career?
Now, I would say not yet, because there is a lot of really great artists, but I don't think I have enough knowledge on different artists of different styles, and so I think I do need to do more research. Yeah, but right now I just think it's just my teacher.
Xiaochu opened the online exhibition titled Pandemic Paintings to raise funds for the community, in which he introduced 20 works centering on 3 themes: flowers, paddy fields, and the sea. The exhibition used virtual reality technologies and robotics, which allows potential buyers and art aficionados to travel from room to room and view the paintings from different angles.
Đây là lần đầu tiên có một cuộc triển lãm tranh tại Việt Nam thông qua robot như thế này. Và đặc biệt hơn nữa là trong giai đoạn dịch Covid đang rất căng thẳng, các bạn yêu nghệ thuật, yêu tranh khi có thể tham quan được những tác phẩm của Chu vẽ trong giai đoạn cách ly. Tôi rất trân trọng tài năng và tấm lòng luôn biết chia sẻ của Xiaochu.
Born into a family with a well-known gallery in Ho Chi Minh City, Xiaochu's passion revealed itself at an early age. The boy can paint anywhere and at any time. His first few sketches impressed artist ngưỡng, Xiaochu's first teacher, immediately.
Chú xin được đi vẽ cùng với hai anh. Thì lúc đó là chú vẫn còn nhỏ, thì dần dần bắt đầu chú học tập được cái thì cậu này có một cái tính rất là hay, là sự điềm đạm mà thường thấy ở trong những người mà làm về công việc nghệ thuật, đặc biệt là cái công việc về hội họa. Chú có vẻ là nó hơi khác các bạn khác, là chú thế cho nên nó trầm tĩnh hơn. Với một cái cậu bé thì vẫn có những cái chuyện là nhiều khi cũng cảm thấy chán, nhiều khi cũng cảm thấy muốn thay đổi hay gì đó, nhưng mà cái thì vẫn giữ được cái sự duy trì rất là nhiều năm và đến tận ngày hôm nay.
The joy of the colors and the perspective that you bring into some of the scenes that I've seen myself in Vietnam, and the perspective that you're able to bring to life from them just brings that whole mood, the feeling of when I first saw them. Your paintings to me are so alive. I just adore your work.
It is the first time you organize a virtual exhibition using Omni Robot. So apart from the feeling that it gives to the audience, so how do you feel about this kind of technology, and how could you incorporate that into your exhibition?
Because due to the COVID situation, as I mentioned, so we had an idea of doing a home exhibition, and then luckily OmniLab helped sponsor us with these really unique robots. And I think it's what makes the exhibition kind of special, because it gives the viewer viewing experience like they're right here in exhibition. Yeah.
Can you please show us your exhibition through the Omni robots right now?
So this is my brother, and we're gonna show you through the exhibition using the Omni robot.
Welcome to our first ever virtual exhibition using OmniLab's telepresence robot. First series of this exhibition. So what you see in front of you right now, you're free to go around and look by yourself. But this first series of the virtual exhibition is named Mu Kang Chai, which is a very monumental destination in northern Vietnam. And So Chu last year in September was given a chance to come to Mu Kang Chai to visit.
How long did it take to finish this painting?
If we're not counting the gap in between, then I think it took like a week.
Apart from landscape, do you feature people in your paintings?
I do have some, but it's very few. But I'm hoping in the future I would work towards that topic more because because I want to try different things because art is there's a lot of things right now. Yeah.
Let me introduce you to the next part of this exhibition, the second series. So if you follow me this way, I'll talk to you through it as we walk towards it. The theme of this next series is flowers.
So this is of a butterfly pea flower, which I saw in my garden. And for this one, you can notice it's in a bit of more abstract style. And this took me around a week, yeah.
So I also want to mention that these are one of the only flower paintings left that So Chu has, as he's auctioned a lot of them and exhibited a lot of them for good causes. Last year during November, So Chu's had a flower exhibition themed, and he sold 20 paintings. All the proceeds of that exhibition went towards providing scholarships and educational materials for young children in central Vietnam who were not conditioned enough. And we provided them to 7 schools in total and provided around 1,000 scholarships.
You and your family used the money raised from the exhibition to donate to the people in the pandemic hit areas and also the frontline workers in Ho Chi Minh City in their COVID-19 fight. So how did you feel when visiting the hospital and see their struggling wards?
Eventually, as we had this virtual exhibition, things started spiraling out of control, which is when we started seeing a lot of news on TikTok about how there were, thousands of cases every day. Unfortunately, a lot of hospitals just didn't have enough space, and their capacity was just reached maximum. And so that's when we decided to come up with the idea of holding an auction event, just like we did in the past.
Thank you so much for your time, and I think this is very engaging interview.
I am a global citizen, but in Vietnam, I want to look for original Vietnamese values and identities. Internationally acclaimed graffiti artist Cyril Phan, whose stage name is Congo, once shared that point of view. There was also a drive for Congo to launch his only private gallery in Vietnam in 2020 and has recently collaborated with a local artist group in a project called Sounds and Colors. The series of works, which is released in July, is a treat of visual and music, conveying the beauty of Vietnamese art legacies from a modern perspective.
The first performance of the project Sounds and Colors is titled Tân Thời, or New Times. New Times is a reminder of a bygone era while also welcoming new and modern ideas.
Khi chúng tôi làm tác phẩm Tân Thời và bắt đầu lên ý tưởng với lại giám đốc sáng tạo Hoàng Anh cũng như nghệ sĩ Congo, chúng tôi đã đặt ra rất là nhiều câu hỏi. Thế nào là tiếp biến văn hóa? Thế nào là toàn cầu hóa? Và khi quay lại lịch sử Việt Nam trong thập niên 30, có một tác phẩm làm tôi và các nghệ sĩ cảm thấy rất là thú vị, đó là tác phẩm Số Đỏ của nhà văn Vũ Trọng Phụng. Và đến năm 1990 thì tác phẩm Số Đỏ được chuyển thể thành phim bởi đạo diễn Hà Văn Trọng và đạo diễn Lộng Chương. Và mọi người có thể nghe thấy những câu thoại ở trong tác phẩm Tân Thời đã được sử dụng rất là hay ở trong đó bởi DJ Jin.
Quãng thời điểm giao thời đó là cái quãng thời điểm mà tôi rất là chú ý. Ở trong thời điểm đó thì nó xảy ra rất là nhiều những cái sự tiếp biến về văn hóa giữa cái cũ và cái mới, cái xung đột về cuộc sống của người Việt Nam. Cái sự kết hợp rất là thú vị giữa nhạc cổ điển phương Tây, chất liệu jazz rồi scratching của DJ đã tạo nên một cái không gian âm nhạc rất là thú vị, vừa mang cái màu sắc vào cái thời điểm đó, thời niên 30, vừa có được cái hơi thở của cuộc sống hiện đại cùng với cả scratching của DJ.
In Fragile, Vietnamese traditional percussion and folk instruments become more accessible to young audiences thanks to their combination with modern genres like hip-hop and ambient sounds. Ambient is a branch of electronic music that focuses on space and visuals. It stimulates the visual and auditory imaginations of listeners. Brad Weaver's Hidden Waves, meanwhile, features the dance artists play both a very famous character from the Vietnamese Cheo Suy Vân and a young modern hip-hop dancer. The title Brad Weaver's Hidden Waves is a metaphor for powerful and creative movements which local artists use to bond with the past. These waves are quietly resurgent and hidden under a calm Hanoi.
The project of the Vietnamese Gallery is to show my know-how to Vietnam and to share my experience to Vietnam. I really believe on the young generation or the next generation. I'm really proud about what we done with the 84 Noise and the Lengan and all the young artists. We start from the roots to give good fruit. And I think is the best way to start and to continue the legacy.
The graffiti work by artist Cyril Congo chosen for the performances were Paris, Hanoi. The paintings show Congo's perspective of Vietnam. Since he left Vietnam at a very young age, Congo has tried to recreate those memories of his hometown through his drawings, which to some extent recall the look of Hanoi's old streets. Facing challenges to bring unique creations to life, that is the message artist Congo wants to share with Vietnamese artists. Cyril Congo has collaborated with many world-class luxury brands such as Hermès, Chanel, and Guicha Mille. This is the first time he has collaborated with Vietnam's 84 Noise group. Although Congo is currently in Paris, he has still been able to collaborate with Vietnam-based artists thanks to their shared ideas about art.
Điều đầu tiên khi mà làm việc với nghệ sĩ Congo đó là tôi cảm thấy đây là một con người rất là cởi mở và chân thành và có một cái tinh thần trở về với cội nguồn rất là mạnh mẽ. Và với tất cả những cái công việc của nghệ sĩ Congo tại châu Âu cũng như là những cái suy nghĩ của ông về toàn cầu hóa, bản sắc cũng như là cái căn tính của con người trong cái thời điểm hiện tại thì chúng tôi đã cùng chia sẻ với nhau rất là sâu sắc. Tiếp theo nữa đó là sự ấn tượng về cái cách mà nghệ sĩ Congo làm việc trên những cái chất liệu khác nhau, kết hợp và khéo léo vận dụng tất cả những cái công cụ khác nhau để mà có thể hiện được những cái màu sắc ở trên rất là nhiều cái chất liệu. Và điều đó cũng tương đồng với cái cách mà tôi cũng như là các nghệ sĩ thực hiện dự án này, đó là sử dụng đa dạng các loại chất liệu về nghệ thuật khác nhau cũng như là âm thanh khác nhau để mà có thể tạo ra một cái ngôn ngữ nghệ thuật hoàn toàn mới mẻ.
I can ingest a lot of different culture from overseas, but my heart is still Vietnamese. So now at my 50s, coming back to Vietnam and sharing my experiences to the young generation, that's a lot of meaning to me. Many people like me get the journey like this and have to leave from Vietnam and to come back again. As an artist, I want to bring what I learned from this journey. Is about culture, is about art, is about legacy.
And that is the end of our program. If you'd like to catch us online, download the VTVgo app from your Google Play or App Store, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4go for more of our programs. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Goodbye for now.